Hello.
I have a challenge for you.
Okay.
You must catch a fish, or you must use these items to catch a fish, one way or another.
Right.
There you go.
Including the carrier bag.
You can weigh the fish in the carrier bag.
I could weigh the fish in the carrier bag.
But no, that's not included.
Okay. Okay, that's interesting. I will have a look
Enjoy.
another time at whatever's in this bag. So at the end of the last session, as you may have seen, and it was a fantastic session too, catching those carp off the surface at Ashmoor Lakes, Aaron, an everyday angler, presented me with a carrier bag of interesting items to use to go fishing with. I don't know what's in the bag, so it could be interesting, knowing Aaron. So I'm going to have a quick look and see what items he's given me to try and catch some fish with. Ah, very nice. A packet of strawberry flavour laces. Delicious. Well, the first thing I can tell you that these are really, really good for, and that's to feed hungry, passionate piscators, so I thank you for that. Oh, there was two of these. A couple of packets of, well, they're called unicorn gems, but I know them as iced gems. You can just see the iced gems on the packet there. Look. I suppose they are unicorny colour. Yeah. Got a hard biscuit with a little icy top to them. Well, I think they make a good bait. Perhaps on the surface, pull a carp off the top with them. Probably get a hook into that, wouldn't you? Yeah, the sugary flavours, I think they'd quite enjoy that. Okay, this is definitely not a bait. A box of Lego. Video music maker Lego, and I've never heard of this type of Lego. I must be a bit out of the system, but it looks like you get a little minifigure in there. You get a little shark dude and a little alien fella and a cat man. And of course, I saw it through the bag, the notoriously unhookable fairy liquid. Other liquids of fairy are available, I guess. Fairy liquid. Right. Yeah. I've got a few ideas of how to incorporate this into my fishing, shall we say. Okay. Interesting. So my challenge today at Ashmoor Lakes is to use some slightly unconventional items to catch fish. Now, they don't all have to be used as bait, but just used in my fishing one way or another. The first thing I've got here is the strawberry laces. Now, I've used these in my fishing for a long time now, not just as a delicious snack, but also as a bait. They make an incredibly good bait. One thing that fish really, really love to eat in the wild are things called bloodworms, and these are little teeny tiny worms that are, well, they're red, much like the strawberry lace. So what I'm going to do is break off some little pieces of this strawberry lace, pop them onto a hook. I've got a float rod set up, and I'm going to use them as the bait. There we go. Just found the depth of the water. I'm going to be fishing these on the bottom. I've got one of my Passionate Piscator homemade floats on. Found the depth, got a little dropper shot and a size 16 hook. I've tied 2.5 pound line to the end of my main line. My main line's a little bit thick today. I've got 6 pound main line on, but that's because I'm probably going to be using some fish, targeting some fish, I should say, on the surface with some other items maybe. And I'm going to be fishing on the bottom as well for some carp, with any luck. There we go, and there we are. We've got a couple of little little pieces of strawberry lace on the end. Incidentally, you could also use these in great big long pieces like that to mimic worms. And if you were to sort of semi-lure fish them, you could twitch them along the bottom like a worm. I'm pretty sure that perch and things would take them too. Another good way of using strawberry lace is for fishing worms. Now when you put a worm onto a hook, they wriggle around like mad things. And then often, if you're using barbless hooks, which you really should be if you're on any sort of fishery. This is a barbless only fishery itself, but the worms will wiggle around and just come off the hook. And a good way, what a bite! A good way to stop them from falling off the hook is to get a little bit of strawberry lace and just thread it onto the hook after you put the worm on. It's just sort of claggy enough it will stick on the hook and not move, and that acts as like a stop to stop the worm from wriggling off. Oh, hey, whoa! Yes, here we go. What have we got here? Ah, just as I expected. Oh, that's a little bream. I'll tell you what, I'll unhook him and we'll have a look. In fact, we won't unhook him. What we'll do is show you that he definitely ate a little bit of strawberry. There we are, only a little one, but a fish on strawberry laces. Whee! Not just the old bream that likes strawberry laces apparently, it's the carp as well. Took it nice and easy. In fact, you may even see the old strawberry lace in his mouth still. Let me just take the hook out. Oh, come here. It's a barbless, but they just catch it in the right spot. There we are, strawbs. A cracking Ashmoor common. Lovely. Whew. Well, if that doesn't prove the pulling power of strawberry laces, nothing will. Stuart Ashens may have his brown sofa, but I have my green fishing chair. These are the video. Lego for 7+. How many sad onions? Or 0 to 3 sad onions. There you go, Stu. Alright, there's only one way to get into them. Same way Stuart does, just rip into it. Oh, instructions. Okay, looks like we've got a little weird milkshake man. Let's put him together. Stuart would do a jump cut. There he is. Actually, he's pretty cool. Seemed a shame to use him for a bait, or I don't know. What are his other bits for? He's got a little saxophone. Because, you know, what says Ice Cream Man more than him playing the saxophone? What are these little bits here? Got a square with a cat on it. That looks like Nyan Cat, actually. And then some little cupcakes. And some sort of mandala. I don't know what that is. And do you stand the little man on it? I guess. There we go. The video Ice Cream Man. But how on earth am I going to use this to help me catch a fish? My first thought is actually to use this as some sort of a float. Maybe this, or maybe the little man himself. If you take his saxophone off, I reckon there's a chance if you pulled his torso off that you could run the line in between those two little prongs and pinch it and have that as kind of like a controller float for getting out to the carp on the surface. There we are, just tied on little size 10, straight to the main line, took the float off and everything. And let's have a look. Let's get Mr. Fancy Pants, Mr. Fancy Pants, the ice cream man. And what we're going to do is just bisect him. Give himself a little bit of line. There we go. Put the line in between his little leg slots and slot that back on. There we go. What could possibly go wrong? The moment of truth, guys. Does Mr. Fancy Pants float? My word, he actually does. Da, 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 da. Do you know, this might just work. Although, to be fair, he does look like he's just drowned. But now we've found out Mr. Fancy Pants can float. What bait do I use? Now, I've been using strawberry laces and I've caught plenty of fish on them. And the only other bait I've got are ice gems, or unicorn gems. I do love these. These remind me of being in the 80s as a kid. This one's a bit wonky, but there you go. It's like a little biscuit with a little bit of icing on the top. Still tastes the same. Yeah, kind of extremely dry and tasteless biscuit. Have a dollop of icing sugar on. It really doesn't taste a lot of sugar. Different colours, different flavours. Got a pink one. We got a blue one. Oh, there's one here. The icing's just come off. Tell you what, that'd be a good bait in itself. But I reckon, even though the biscuit is really solid, much more solid than I thought. I reckon we could get a hook into the icing and put that out there as a bait. The ice gems are pretty tough. Wish I'd bought just some bait bands or something to put on. But have you ever seen a more ridiculous rig in your life? Mr. Fancy Pants, the Lego ice cream man, down to an ice gem. You know, you make some decisions in your life sometimes and you think, oh, what am I doing? I love the idea of using strange things when it comes to baits and other things to include into your fishing. I've been doing it for years. I remember many years ago having a variety of different boilies. I had some yellow ones and some brown ones, and I chopped up the yellow one into a square and the brown one into a little rectangle, put them onto the baiting needle in the correct order, and made a SpongeBob boilie with a brown pair of square pants on a yellow top. I had a pen with me and I drew on some eyes and a mouth and the teeth and the little marks on the brown bit of the boilie for his trousers. Pants, I suppose. Square pants. And I caught a carp on the SpongeBob boilie, and it was so much fun, so enjoyable. There's always so many things you can use when fishing. With my old bobbins, which you may have seen in previous videos. They were old ones I had. I bought brand new ones. They were much better. But the old ones I just destroyed. I bought some little Lego figures, much like Mr. Fancy Pants, but Star Wars Stormtrooper ones. And I drilled holes in them, glued them into place, and made them into Lego Star Wars bobbins. I like just creating new things. Firstly, I make all of my floats from bits of reed I collect when I'm out fishing. There's a few fish coming up. I've thrown a few gems out into the water. They're floating like, well, they're the most floatingest things I've ever seen in my life. They're not sinking ever, and the fish are sort of struggling to take them down. They're very, very hard biscuits and very, very hard icing. I was thinking I might better hook the icing, but no, it just wasn't happening. Mr. Fancy Pants is a fantastic controller float, actually. You can see him from ages away. Do you know what's really awkward, actually? So when you're fishing in this situation and the line is laying right across the top of the surface and the slight breeze, there's not as much of a breeze, but there is one. The slight breeze is just blowing the line across and it's moving the bait, moving the ice gem and Mr. Fancy Pants for Lego Man unusually, and I think the fish know that. However, there is an item in that carrier bag which could help. Particularly noticeable when you're surface fishing. The line can float just on the top of the surface of the water, and when the wind pulls round, it can drag the line right across the surface and move your bait around unnaturally. But the best way to counteract this is with a bit of the old fairy liquid. Just a little bit of a, make a mess. That is a little bit too much, to be fair, but it only needs a couple of drops. I'm balancing all these different hands, but just put a bit of that onto your reel line. Make sure you sort of massage it all in, and what that does is just breaks the surface tension on the water, so that when you pop the line into the water again, the line will sink under the water perfectly. There we go, that's instantly better. The washing up liquid just breaks that surface tension and the line just sinks completely out of the way. My bait is in perfect place now, just waiting for a fish to take the ice gem. That's 3 times now they've come up and tried taking the Lego Man and not the ice gem. Mr. Fancy Pants, he seems to be taking on water a little bit now. He's not as buoyant as he once was. It's crazy. Fish be crazy, man. These fish certainly be crazy. Oh yes, there we go, he took it. He took the ice gem. I don't know why I find that so funny. Maybe it's because it's attached to a Lego Man. I don't know. Oh, what a lovely shot. Oh, I've just got to get him in now. Oh. Lego Man. Oh. Ridiculous situation to get yourself into. Oh dear, there's a Lego Man. There's the fish. Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing with my life? Oh. Alright, let's unhook him. You gonna sit still? Of course you're not gonna sit still. You're all pumped up on sugar ice gems now. Let's get you out of there. There we go. My little controller float did well. And there's a little lean common who's had a hankering for some ice gems. Oh yeah. What did you make of that, Mr. Fancy Pants?
I don't know. I guess, yeah, it was a bit of a ride of a lifetime. It was absolutely terrifying, like being chucked into a big ocean full of sharks. They kept trying to eat me and not the bait.
Yeah, they did, didn't they? Gives me an idea, though. Okay, Mr. Fancy Pants, your time is up. I reckon through the bottom of the head. Just give him a drill. Going through, it is just about. Take a little bit of time, I think. Oh, maybe not. There we go. Let's make sure the hole's wide enough. Okay. I never thought I'd see the day. Well, I don't think anyone would really. Where they were not just knotting the head of an ice cream shaped Lego Man onto a hook. Just put it onto a little knotless knot hair rig. There we go. And hopefully that'll float on the surface and snag. It might just go dunk and snag a carp. Who knows? Stranger things have happened today. I have a strange feeling that this might actually work as well. Camera ran out of battery. It was a lovely fish. It was a lovely big common. You see it in the water. You probably could see the little Lego man in his mouth. The camera ran out of battery, so I couldn't get to show you how beautiful a fish it was. Lovely, beautiful silver common. I've got a charge pack with me, as I always carry. But I just had no idea. My phone didn't flash and tell me the battery was low. It just went and was gone. So I've been sat here for the past half an hour just waiting for it to charge up. So I've got enough battery to keep fishing. I'm not going to try and catch another carp on Lego. I think I proved it can be done. So now we've done the strawberry laces. We've got some bream on the strawberry laces and a carp on the strawberry laces as a replication for maggots. We've got a carp on ice gems and a carp on a piece of Lego, which I wasn't intending to do. I was just using the Lego as a controller float, but I guess also you can use it as a bait as well. We started to use the washing up liquid. I used it to lubricate my reel line so it didn't float on the surface for surface fishing, which has been absolutely perfect. But I think there's another way we can use that fairy liquid to, well, catch fish. There is a way of turning this fairy liquid into fishing bait. Don't believe me? All you need is some fairy liquid and a tub of water. Pour in some fairy liquid. Whoop. Give it a little wobble. And look for a likely spot. And then you just tip the fairy liquid all over the area, just like that. Obviously, take care not to get any of the fairy liquid into the water. Now, as I say, it has been quite dry, so it might take a couple of doses in this area, but it looks pretty moist here. We just have to wait for our bait to turn up. Now, some areas are less good than others. Oh, look, here we go. Straight away, come here. The old fairy liquid in the grass trick I've been doing for a long time. There we are. Look at that. And the old worms. Oh, come here. The old worms don't like it. They do not like the fairy liquid. I always put my little tub of water. Well, that one looks a bit... doesn't seem to be enjoying himself. There, he is alright. A bit shell-shocked. Just to get the fairy liquid off. But oh, here's another one. Oh, he's coming out the ground. Come out. There we go. I don't like the fairy liquid at all, and so it brings the worms up to the surface. And that is how you change washing up liquid into worms. Excellent. We've used it to sink our line, and we've used it to catch our wormy baits. But there's one more thing I can think of just off the top of my head that you can use a bottle of the old washing up liquid for? Well, not necessarily the bottle, but this bit. The lid. Basically, I've changed my entire rig around to a bottom rig. So you've got one bit of the rod on there, another bit of the rod on there, and we're fishing. There's my battery pack, my bloomin' phone. So basically, when that rod tip starts to jingle, you'd think I've got a fish on, but I don't need to be able to watch that. In fact, sometimes you don't need to watch that at all. If it's a line that's coming back on you, what you really need is a bobbin. You need something on the line to indicate whether a fish is on or whether a fish is off. And this is where the fairy liquid cap comes into play. Just take the cap, clip it over the line. You can do it quite loosely so it comes off, but it should run up and down there anyway. And there we go. There's your bobbin. If that goes down, sort of down here, the fish is running towards you. If it goes up, the fish is shooting off ahead of you. You see that cap move? Strike. Lovely little mirror, just caught on the worm. I knew he was there because of my washing up liquid bottle top bite indicator. There we go. Challenge complete, using all 4 items in my fishing to help me catch fish. We used the strawberry laces. That's food for me. But also breaking them down as little tiny sort of maggoty bloodworm baits to catch the bream and carp. And float fishing, you could use them on the feeder. Absolutely you could. And again, like I say, you can make really long ones to replicate worms and perhaps jig them through the water. So I didn't get to do that today. Used ice gems as bait, but they were very difficult to hook and put on the actual hook itself. A little bait band around the top. I've got one here. I'll show you what I mean. Here we go. Using a little bait band to go around the outside of the icing here and the biscuit, which has hold it on that a little bit better. But another good bait. The little Lego man came in top trumps. Fantastic. Using it as a controller float to get it out a little bit further, and when the bait was sinking, which these things finally did, but they are very buoyant, you could just check the little Lego man moving around on the surface, and when he shot off, you struck. Oh, fantastic. And also using the Lego, the head, as a bait itself, even though I didn't actually get to see the fish come in because my camera ran out of battery, but we still caught one on a Lego man head. And the washing up liquid using 3 different methods, popping it onto your reel line so that your line sinks on the water, which was fantastic for using them for surface fishing. Using the washing up liquid mixed with water to catch worms as a bait, great. Also using the lid as a little bobbin so that when the fish took the bait, we could see, bam, when the fish was going and striking. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to my channel. Give this video a like. Look for my back catalogue. Give those videos a like. I'm definitely going to be doing some bait challenges in the future, if I can think of some, or maybe an everyday angler can think of some. Thank you for providing these fantastic items, should we say. I was going to say baits, but items for me to use and put a little bit of a challenge to me. I completed it. Fantastic. Check out the description below. You can donate £3 on Buy Me a Coffee link, which is down there in the description. Just scroll down to the words, you'll see it. I'll be using that to, you know, maintain the running costs of filming, maybe buy a pint of maggots, maybe buy an actual pint, who knows, in celebration. I could have one now in celebration, to be honest. I feel pretty chuffed that I've used all those items. Thanks for joining me, as I've said, and I'll see you again on the bank next time. Bye!